back? Yeah, okay. Okay, good evening. My name is Frankie Graham. I'm the founder of Betknowmore UK. Founded in December 2013, Betknowmore UK has a mission to develop and deliver support and mentoring services to address problem gambling and addiction. I would like you to take away one quote this evening. Gambling addiction is not just about losing money. Gambling addiction is not just about losing money. For nearly 20 years, from the age of 16, I had a gambling addiction. I saw friends going into the bookmakers and winning money on Arsenal winning 1-0, Ian Wright being the first goal scorer. I thought, fantastic, what an easy way to make money. I was wrong. By the time I was 18, I had a serious addiction, and the impact on my life was massive. It impacted on every single area of my life, from my relationships, my finances, my education, and then my employment. In 2006, I received a suspended prison sentence for criminal offences committed to feed my addiction. For me, that was rock bottom. I decided subsequently, after a successful recovery, I wanted to develop a career in social care, to turn a negative into a positive. I went out, I did courses around counselling, mental health, and I started to volunteer. In 2007, I started work with the YMCA, and for 4 years I managed and developed an outreach project for them, working with high-risk young offenders. I left in 2013 and decided now was the time to do something for gambling. My experience is not particularly unique. 75% of the UK population gambles every year. Of that 75%, about 1.5 million could be assessed as having a pathological or to be vulnerable to addiction. The impact is not just on the gambler themselves, but each gambling addiction, 9 other people are directly affected on average. And yet the research tells us that only 9% of problem gamblers in this country are engaging with a support service. That means 90% receive no support at the moment. I think that's a shocking statistic. So the ripple effect, which had such a devastating impact on my life, that's quite a common impact on all gamblers. So there's impact on mental health, physical and emotional well-being, obviously issues around finances and debt, family breakdown, and the suicide rate for problem gamblers is extremely high as well. Research from America suggests it could be as high as 1 in 5 that will actually attempt or consider suicide. So my solution with Betknowmore UK was to try and do something different, something that wasn't available elsewhere. So we have launched gambling support hubs. Gambling support hubs provide a one-stop centre for support and education around problem gambling. We have last year we launched our first hub in Islington, and earlier this year we launched our second hub in East London in Newham. So the centres themselves provide one-to-one support in the form of counselling, mentoring. We offer group sessions, education and awareness. But our key service is the ACT mentoring programme. We currently are the only organisation in the UK that offer an outreach programme which is dedicated to supporting problem gamblers. It offers a holistic, tailored pathway of treatment for to help our mentees move away from this problem. So our funding application this evening is for us to be able to fund an outreach worker at the East London Gambling Support Hub. Since the launch in June, we have received a steady stream of referrals, about 30 already, and we need additional resources to meet the demand. We estimate that one outreach worker over a year will be able to provide support to 56 clients. So on a salary of £27,000, that equates to £482 per client. Now bear in mind that the average debt of a gambling addict is around £26,000. I'm really delighted to introduce Stephen. Stephen presented to our Islington hub in February this year, and I'll let him tell you more about himself.
Thank you, Frankie. Hello, my name's Stephen and I'm a volunteer for Betknowmore UK and I'm a recovered gambling addict. I started to gamble around 10 years ago. I gambled on fixed odd betting terminals, FOTTs, found in high street bookmakers. I quickly became addicted to them and spent huge amounts of money and time playing the machines. The impact was severe. It affected my finances, my relationships and employment. My career as a football coach was ruined by gambling. I never told anybody what was happening, especially not my family. I tried many times over the years just to stop, but I couldn't. Lying, borrowing, absence from work, broken down relationships with my family, feelings of depression and ultimately for me, the loss of purpose. At the beginning of the year I came to a point where I had nothing left to stake or lose. I contacted support services, they couldn't help. Then I was put in contact with Frankie and Betknowmore. Immediately after meeting Frankie, for the first time I felt a big weight lifted off my shoulders. With his own experiences as a gambler and ex-gambler, he helped me with steps on how to protect myself from possible urges, understanding my gambling and accepting that I had to leave it in the past. I felt empowered and inspired and I felt hope. Within months I was confident enough to feel and say I was an ex-gambler. Then Frankie was kindly gave me the opportunity to start working alongside him and other volunteers in the mentoring program to help other people in the same situation as me. Thank you for listening to me.